inside.
They've both gone deep.
Oh, he's lost it. 5 wide.
Oh no.
No, you can't do that. Oh, and he's around. Big crash. Oh, Dali's gone into him. He's going to go for the move. He's going to go for the move. Back at him. Oh, the Tino's gone for it. Oh, no, he's thrown it away at last. The Tino's gone for a massive dive. And unfortunately, it's...
Oh my god.
Oh, there's a huge crash off the start line. Absolutely monumental. This is going to be a safety car. No. On the curve. And he's going to have carnage. It's a big moment from there. He's going to struggle to stop that. He's in the wall.
That's out.
Two do not like one another.
And yeah, I can see why.
He's shown the man a big crash. Alex Cattle's in the fence. It's around. Three words.
Team 1 cubes while you're racing a race car, you do that. The modern story of some very good drugs.
Hello and welcome to the Ben Motorsport Park here for round 4 of the Automobilista Supercars Super 2 Championship. It's a venue that we visited twice last year, but we're back here tonight with a 3-race format. And joining me as always is my good friend and co-commentator Colin Warwick. How are you?
Good mate, how's yourself?
Oh, I'm alright. You know, it's another exciting night of watching race cars. Pixel ones, but still, it's race cars.
That's it.
We're just having a chat before the stream with this 40 seconds of practice to go that we thought that Lachlan Bourke might have a lock on tonight, but Corey Macfarlane, he's come out and he's done a better number than him, so going to be a good racing. Going to be some good racing, I feel, again between our two contenders.
Yeah, he's come out and said, you know what, I'll give you a challenge again, so it's good for us. As he goes a little bit quicker.
It is good for us. I mean, these two have shared the wins so far this season, so Corey really is the main guy taking it in the championship to Lachlan Bourke. So it will be interesting. This format tonight, these 3 races, 10 laps. Having done some laps yesterday myself, tyres will be a factor.
Yeah, back end of the 10 laps would definitely be a factor. I mean, after 3 laps, the tyres start to feel a bit ordinary, so
exactly right.
It's all about mentioning the tyres.
Exactly right. They last as Corey Macfarlane decides that he doesn't need that set of tyres. Within 3 laps they go, but I do sort of feel 10 laps is not a too far of a distance on the tyres around here, but it's just got to make sure you don't overheat them, because once they're overheated they become very icy on this track, because there's not too many opportunities for them to cool down, especially through this sector that we're seeing Corey drive through right now and repetitively do burnouts in.
Yeah, he's just showing off that if you get the tyres hot or warm, they become very greasy. So, as you see again, him lining up the rears.
Yep, so he's demonstrating exactly the thing that we were just talking about, which is good for everybody. So I can see exactly what we mean. Yeah, it should be interesting. I see Steve Warwick. He's put in a good number to be there in 3rd, and Dane Liccardo was pretty strong here last year on both visits to, the visits to both the International and the West Circuit. So it'll be interesting to see if he can back up his form from Tasmania.
Will be interesting. I mean, we did strip him of that win, which is a talking point from last round. So
certainly is.
Hopefully tonight is a bit more cleaner and a bit smarter in the way he chooses to drive. So as everyone knows Dane, he can be a bit of a handful.
He can be, but I feel like if you're a second off here it's not that bad with the way in which this race is going to play out, because I know myself from doing a little run yesterday that these tyres are going to drop off into the 53s, into the 54s. So if you start in the 53s and you can maintain that for longer into the run, at the back end of this race, as long as you're still there, you've actually got a chance here. So I hope some of these guys that are a little bit further off the pace on outright speed do have the race pace and the tyre life, because that will make it a very entertaining night of racing.
Well, that's something I discussed with my old man today, that it's not so much about the qualifying pace around here. If you can be in the first couple of rows but then manage the tyre, you can probably snag a good result. So
Exactly right. And that's sort of the
We'll see how they
opinion that
go.
I share. So they come out for qualifying. Just watching this nice shot of the pit straight here at the bend as we see the chopper go past.
yeah, it's probably Tony Quinn leaving the circuit. See all the cars waiting to go out on the grid.
As we see Peter Stenberg trailing down the lane.
Out into the fast lane, I should say, not out in the grid.
And leading the pit lane under red light. That will be a double penalty.
Yep.
So here they come. Just going to see who is the first out. It is actually Steve Warwick in the black short racing car. Not a favoured venue, I will say. Not a favoured racing car circuit for a lot of these drivers, I must say. I don't think it's anyone really likes this place, but definitely suits a different style of driving to what we've seen at Sandown and even Symmons Plains and even Bathurst to a degree. It's a flowing circuit, that's for sure, and it's one of the few flowing circuits that we have on this calendar without there being any Phillip Island or whatnot.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably taken the position of the most flowing circuit we go to on the calendar. So, yeah, it's a very interesting circuit. I mean, personally, I like the last sector. So from where they're approaching now, say from about here to the end of the lap, pretty good. And the first couple of corners, but yeah, the middle sectors I'm not really a fan of, to be honest.
Agreed. I much would prefer if they raced at the West Circuit at this venue. That's my honest opinion, but you know, we had a chance to go there. This venue has had 4 races in the history of, well, this is going to be the 4th time the ASC has gone to this venue, and we've only raced in the international layout 3 times.
Yep.
And it has mixed up the grid. We have had some interesting races for sure, but I feel like the West Circuit would be much better.
Agreed. I thought even in real life that that layout was a bit better.
Yeah, agreed. I find in sim racing as well, that middle sector really separates the men from the boys, which is what we want to see as we're spectators, to see who is the better drivers out here. But it sort of ruins a bit of the actual racing.
The thing I was watching was actually went and saw my old man today at his house. Watching his driving style compared to mine is that a lot of these Super 2 drivers adapt to it as well, is that they think that the fastest way is to get into the corner as fast as possible and get out of it as fast as possible, whereas a lot to do around here is flowing the car and flowing it through the flowing corners. So keeping a good mid-corner speed up through the apex is very important, especially through here where we're going through now. If you can get the speed up and hit the apex as well, you'll find tenths, maybe even for some of these guys seconds.
Yeah, exactly right. It's not the speed that you enter the corner with at a track like this, it's the speed at which you have out in the corner exit that's most important. Tracks like Sandown and Symmons Plains, you can rush into the corner and you can get away with that kind of driving. it doesn't really punish you. It's still not the most ideal way to drive, but it doesn't punish you because it's a braking circuit and you're not going to lose as much on the exits, where a track like this will severely punish you for that kind of driving. It's really a track where you've got to flow the car, you've really got to practice the slow in, fast out style of driving, and especially around that middle sector, I find that as...
Oh, this is hurt.
It's caught my old man. But you've really got to get into the corner, and especially that triple right-hander, know that if you go in too fast, you're going to be grip limited later on in the corner, so it's better to go in a tiny bit slower and try and get out of that section and set yourself up for the next corner after that. Steve Warwick goes to P6. I would have been hampered there. Just going to look at what else is going on. Cameron Parrott's gone to P3. Just going to look at the current list. Lachlan Bourke's down to 6, so that's not been a good first run for him. And Dane Liccardo is currently our fastest driver.
Have to make mention too that 2019 Super 2 champion Termo is back with us tonight.
Yep, he is back with us tonight, doing his first race in ASC since, I believe, 2020 at Adelaide. I believe he raced in main game. I think that was his last attendance after winning the Super 2 title in 2019 and running the full championship.
Yep.
So it's good to have Termo back as he runs a little bit wide.
Well, we raced Termo, it would have been 2 weeks ago now, I think, or a week ago. And he finished a respectable P4, I think, in one of the races. So he's definitely still got the pace. Just be interesting to see how he adapts to our tyre with these cars, because it's a little bit different, as in the car feels more realistic to the Super V8 standard tyre, which tends to be, it has that weird snap oversteer, whereas our cars tend to behave like the real supercars in real life, where they slowly slide out and you can sort of catch it.
Yeah.
He might adapt to it well, and it looks like he has, because at the moment he's P3. So, but I mean, Corey up front, that's a big lap time there.
That is a big lap time there. Yeah, I was going to say with Termo, he's also a guy that I kind of, one of those guys that seems to go alright in anything he drives, but I feel like he seems to do better at flowing sort of tracks from what I've seen of him. So in the past, so I feel like he could be on for a good run here on his return.
You see Bourke now, P2. It's not far off.
He's up to P2. Just going to keep an eye on Corey. We only got 3 minutes 30 left in this session. It goes fast when you in a venue like this where it's 2 minute laps. Bourke is up.
He's down on his PB, so he's got a pretty good first sector there. We know he can do 51s. He's done that in the lead up to the event.
Corey's also up on his lap by 4,000ths of a second. But we'll say this is a track where you definitely will see different driving styles work in different sectors of the track. I know from main game last year, Thomas McMillan's a guy that's very quick in the first and last sectors of this venue, but not very good in the middle sector. So
That's correct. There's nothing in this.
there is nothing in this. It's very close. Corey's about to cross the line himself, so we'll see what he does. He's getting a tow here off one of the Ultimate 9 racing cars, and he goes slightly faster to a 42 flat.
Dane Liccardo also improved his time.
I feel like Dane's going to be in this tonight with these guys at the front, and I've seen Brendan Ross has jumped up to 4th. It's a good lap time from him.
It's very close from 10th to 4th.
And Lachlan goes faster, but it's not going to be enough, and he's only going to, could get a lap in again if he goes out. I don't know if he's going to. Oh. What the hell's going on here? Sorry, just having some technical problems. Corey's pulled over, he's done. Dan Licato's got the lights on. Let's see what he does. Lachlan Bourke is coming out for another run, but he's going to have to push to get to the line.
Oh,
Dane Licato has aborted that run. Brendan Ross is out there on the track. I feel like everybody's going to be setting up for a last run, so that's what Termo's doing at the minute. Cameron Parrott in 6th. He had a strong run here last year from memory. It was one of the circuits that he sort of came to be at. Like, made himself a presence in the series.
yep. Bit surprised with the guys from my team, the Warwick racing team. They're 9th and 10th.
Yeah, Hans Brunswick as well is another one that surprises me. So further down than I would expect, but I will say this middle part of the grid is very close between 4th and 11th odd.
Yep.
It's only really a second separating everyone in that period. I'm just going to flick over to Steve Warwick on now.
Currently on pole in Super 3 is actually a claim bike.
It's a good lap from a claim bike. A claim bike is one of those drivers as well that tends to do better at these flowing style of circuits from what I've seen of him in the past compared to some of the other guys.
It's very wide.
It is very wide.
Overdriving.
Going to be end of that. I've got Corey on a lap, starting his lap, and I've got Martino who just finished one, I believe.
Yep. Oh, it's a moment. And one.
Yeah, it's Steve Warwick off the road. Is it?
Oh, he's off the road. No.
Sorry, I'll get something else.
See what Corey can do here. It's the first sector. Oh, he's up.
That's a good first sector. They're definitely, I will say, some of the slower guys tend to struggle, as we were saying, because of the way they drive. But I feel like someone like a claim bike, Super 3 guy, he tends to have more of a conservative approach to his races, that must be said, and I feel like this is the venue where he will perform.
I have to say, even Super 3 for the pole, it's a claim by Kai Jones and Rhodey. It's like half a second there, so it's quite tight.
Yeah, it is. Oh, Lachlan Bourke's off the road, so that's going to be any chance of him getting pole done. So it really is just going to be, and Dane Licato's done, Termo's done. So really this is just for show here. Hans Brunswick's on a lap, but I don't know if it's going to do him much. Hans goes up to 4th, so
That's a good lap.
it is a good lap. He's found 8:10, so he made a liar of me.
What's Corey going to do?
Corey Macfarlane,
51.8.
and
Lap.
that is a good lap. That's easily pole. Well, that sets up an interesting evening.
It's big. Like, look at the likes of RSM Latinos, 2 seconds away.
It's a long way away. I would have expected those guys to be a fair bit closer, but that bunch there between 4th and 10th, that is a second covering that, and then the next bunch isn't far back to really to the start of the Super 3 field, so well, get the short little warm-up session.
Come and see us on the channel.
So I'm just going to take a short break here while we have this little warm-up session, and we'll be back with live pictures very shortly.
The race session is about to start.
We're back with live pictures here from the Bend Motorsport Park. Going to take you through the grid for tonight's race. We've got Corey Macfarlane on pole position once again, with his title contender and current title leader Lachlan Bourke on second place. Dane Liccardo in third from Mute Sim Sports, with Hans Brunswick in fourth. Steve Bourke qualified fifth from 2019 to winner Termo. Brendan Ross is P8. Cameron Parrott in 8th. Steve Warwick in 9th position. Arison Latino down in 10th, but he'll be wanting to move up from there. It's a fair way down for him. Lewis Wedding in 11th after starting on pole last time out at Simmons Plains. Rapp in 12th. Liam Budd in 13th. Matt Cecil in 14th. Claimbite in 15th and on pole for Super 3. Kai Jones in 16th. Brody in 17th. Dodger in P18. Jordan DeSantis in 19th. And Nathan Higginson has joined us at the last minute to start off the back of the grid. Keen to see how this one's going to play out. Had a car come down pit lane for pit lane start. I believe that is Nathan Higginson.
Okay, let's show them what we're made of.
The race is about to begin.
Green flag, green flag.
And Lachlan Bourke has got the jump off the line, but Corey Macfarlane's got a better second phase of the start. And they're going to run down into turn 1. This is going to be the action hotspot. And Lachlan Bourke, he's gone in way too deep and he's put himself off the road. Rest of the field makes it through. He somehow stayed in the lead, but Corey is going to throw it up the inside. Lachlan's run right, he's disappeared. Lachlan Bourke's disappeared. There's been an incident in the background between Lewis Wedding and Bratt. See if we can get a replay of that one for you. See what's happened here. Oh, and Wedding and Bratt both lost it by themselves, so a bit unfortunate. Take you back to live pictures, and Dane Liccardo's putting Corey Macfarlane under pressure now. So and Lachlan Bourke has reappeared, so a bit confused as to what's going on here. It's a bit weird one. Termo's also had a pretty good start. He's up into 5th, and Arison Latino is up into 6th place, so he's also had a good start. Looking at the gains and losses. Steve Burko down 4 spots. Brendan Ross down 3 off the start. Rhodey up 4, and Jordan DeSantis is up 3, and Claimbite's had a shocker, and same with Rapp and obviously Wedding. But here it is, it's on here for P2, and Dane Liccardo has fired it down the inside. Is he going to get this pulled up? He has, but Corey's going to get the over-under, and he's going to be back up the inside at the next corner. Although, is Dane going to hold this position? Lachlan Bourke has somehow had another issue, and Steve Warwick has gone around in the background. This battle is still on. Still fighting for it. Trying to find out what has happened to Lachlan Bourke. Lachlan Bourke's DNF. Lachlan Bourke is out of the race from the race lead. So unfortunately those internet gremlins have come to bite him, and that DNF is going to bite hard in this championship fight. So this battle is now for the race lead between Dane Liccardo and Corey Macfarlane. And it's on for 3 and 4 as well. So this is going to be an exciting race. Dane's on the defence already. I feel like this battle is going to go for the whole race. They've started to sort of sort themselves out a bit now, but still line astern here. Oh, and Corey's having another look down the inside here, and he's got the bumper out. He's going to bring Brunswick into this. Warwick is now DNF from the race as well, unfortunately. It's all sort of calming itself. I say that, and it's on again here. Corey's going to go around the outside. Corey Macfarlane has gone around the outside and taken the race lead. That is an excellent pass. Outstanding. But he's overshot, and this is going to give Dane Liccardo a chance to come back at him. I want to go. There's a battle on for the lead, or the battle on for second place in Super 3, but we can't go to that right now because this is just too exciting. I feel like Dane is going to be back up the inside of him come the main straight, at the end of the main straight. He's got to make sure he gets a good exit here. Corey does the fastest of the race, but here comes Dane Liccardo back up the inside. And he's overshot it, and he's going to let Corey straight back through. A bit wide there, but he's pushing pretty hard. Oh, Dane, that's a big blocker. I feel like Dane is also pushing mega hard. I'm just going to flick back though. We've got Brapp working his way back through the field here. It's been a good battle between the Super 3 contenders, Dodger, Claimby, and Rhodey, that's raged on for most of the race, missed. So Brapp's made himself back up to 15th after the spin on the opening lap. And these guys have been having their own little scrap. I feel like Brack will make short work of these guys. Dodger is having a look at Rhodey. They're still keeping an eye on the lead battle for everybody as well. Sorry, I've lost my co-commentator for a bit. I believe. That's why you're only hearing my voice. This is Dodger. He's about to get past here by Brapp, it looks like, but he's all over the back of Rhodey as well. Dane Liccardo does the fastest up of the race. Going to stay with Corey. Brapp finally is going to get that move done on Dodger, and Dodger's run wide, and he's now going to let Claimby have a run at him. That'll be all she wrote for a bit. Looking back to the lead battle, as you can see, it's still on up here with these guys. battle on between 6th and 7th as well, between Steve Bourke and Cameron Arrow. And the 3, 4, 5 is close between Hans, Termo and Latino as well. Oh, and Dane is into the back of Corey. He's having a look at him. Got Jordan DeSantis is stranded there on the outside of the track. He's having a race full of dramas, it appears. So this battle is still on for the race lead, and it has been since lap 1. Dane moves to the inside once more to go for an overtake, and he's going to outbrake himself once again and let Corey go, as we've seen about 3 times so far in this race. And then he'll spend the rest of the lap catching him back up. Both as fast as one another. I feel like Dane's probably got a bit more pace than Corey, but he needs to be a bit more conservative with the overtake. Not be as aggressive and actually get the move done and then try and make a gap. Trying to see if there's anything else going on at the minute. No real other close battles on the track at the minute. We've got Jordan DeSantis is still currently stranded in, I don't know where that is on the circuit, but he's not having a good run of it wherever he is. That's the outside of turn 6, I believe. So he's got his car back on the circuit. Dana's catching Corey once again for the lead, and we've still got a battle on for 3rd place between Hans Brunswick and Termo. He's really been going the whole race as well. In the background, I've shot at the leaders. Fizzled out a bit now as the race. I think everybody's just playing it to see what happens later on. We do have a battle a bit further back here between Rhodey and Acclaim Bite, 14 to 15. slowly making ground. He lost a bit of time there in the middle sector, but I feel like he's stronger here in this part of the track based on what I've seen over the course of the race. That Termo has made the overtake into 3rd place, so we'll see if we can pick up a replay of that for you, see when that happened. He's on the run into turn 1 and he's gone on the outside of Hans, who is defending, and got that done, so Hans has taken the narrow line and hasn't been able to carry the corner speed, and Termo's picked up P3 there, so on here for the lead, but oh, and they've both missed the corner as I've switched to them. It's hurt Dane more, but both obviously trying very hard and with old tyres. And as I've seen that, Claimbite's made the move on Roadie, so that has finally happened, but the battle's still on. Roadie's going to try and look again, try and get back up the inside, but that is not going to happen. Claimbite has run wide though. This is on for, will be P2 in Super 3 category. Out of the way. These two. Looks like that's fairly solidified now, that position. Still up at the front, it's still half a second gap. I'm interested to see if Dane's saving something for the last lap or if this is him maxed out. Oh. Just seen Liam Budd have a big moment off the screen. Notice that, switch to this, Steve Bourke, he is all over the back with Larison Latino, and this is the P5 in the race, and Cameron Parrott is stalking the both of them. Tino's had a strong start, starting at P10, but tyres might start to be hurting now, and he's run wide, and so it's really hit him. Oh, he's hit him. He's made contact. Bourke is going to redress the position, it looks like. Tino's still trying to recover. Bourke's redressed the contact, but it's cost RSM Latino the position of Cameron Parrott, who's now jumped up into 5th because of all that. Further forward, Hans is still stalking Termo. But in the lead of the race, it's now out to a second. Corey Macfarlane is going to come through and win another race.
Apologies to the viewers and yourself, mate. Got caught up in something.
Hi mate, that's all good. Just gonna.
I have been listening.
Have you been listening? We've got a battle on here for third and fourth between Hans and Termo that's still not resolved. Been a good race-long battle between Corey and Dane, but it's kind of fizzled out in the last few laps, and it's going to be Corey that's going to come through and take the win.
I heard that Bourke had a DNF.
Yeah, internet dramas. Apparently he had something go wrong with his router, which cost him while he was in the lead, but Corey Macfarlane has capitalised on that, and he's taken the win from Dane Liccardo. Termo in P3, so back to the podium for Termo, and Hans in fourth. Cameron Parrott runs out the top 5 with Latino. He had contact with Bourke on the last lap. Liam Bud in 8th. Wedding in 9th. Brendan Ross in 10th. I've noticed Kai Jones, who had a 7-second lead over a claim buyer, is struggling big time here. He's lost 6 or so seconds, so it looks like he's just cruising to try and get home. This is for his first win in the Super 3 category.
Yeah, so he's got it here.
So do I, but he's going very slowly. So unsure of what his drama is, but he's going to pick it up just.
Good effort.
Claimbite in P2 after an eventful race. Rhodey gets third. Cecil finishes in 14th position with Nathan Higginson from pit lane to 15th. Quite old race for him, and he's doing a bit of celebration work. Pratt not having the best of one down there in 16th, with Dodger having to tour the pit lane twice, and Jordan DeSantis having a bit of a shocker in being in the infield. So mate, you missed a lot of that. Was an interesting race for sure. Definitely was on all race between Corey and Liccardo, and same between Termo and Brunswick.
Oh, it's good to hear. I could hear in the background some stuff going on. I mean, I was downstairs, so it was cutting in and out. But yeah, I heard Lachlan Bourke had a DNF, and I was just like, wow, that's championship moment there.
Yeah, mate. He had a bit of an internet drama at turn 1 and disappeared, and he came back in the lead with like a solid second while Dane and Corey were squabbling. But then, yeah, it went from bad to worse when he dropped out completely in DNF. So
I'm also seeing Steve Warwick, my father, DNF.
that was related to a game crash, so I believe. And I had Peter Stenberg join me in the booth. He wasn't on the mic, he joined me in the booth. And he's also out of tonight. He's having technical issues that he can't even start the race. So it's been a bit unfortunate for him.
It's a shame.
But that's racing, as they say.
Yep. That's sim racing.
That is racing. So I'm going to get ready to go to the next one. So if the next one's anything like that one, I feel like we're going to be in for some entertainment. I say fizzled out a bit as the tyres went off, which has kind of caught me by surprise. I sort of expected the opposite. So
well, now that I'll visually see the next race, I'm hoping it's just as good as that one sounded. So might actually just duck down and speak to the old man and see if he's got any technical issues himself. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
no worries, mate. as we hear cars leaving the lane. Nathan Higginson, he's getting out there and amongst it. See who else has made it onto the circuit.
I'm back and ready for this quali session.
Is going to be exciting, I guess. And yeah, that's exactly right what Peter Stroh has said in the comments. Unlucky Dano less Jandal into turn 1. I feel like Dane needs to take some lessons from that race. He had the pace early on, but he made too many over-ambitious moves into turn 1 where he got the draft and he outbroke himself, and he's allowed himself to get crisscrossed back into turn 3, which you don't really want to be doing, because then he spends the next part of the lap catching again to make the same move and the same mistake. So I feel like that's a lesson he can learn, because I feel like if he could have gone in front, he could have won that race. Because Nathan Higginson has a big moment. I'm going to flick to Lachlan Bourke. Very slowly here. Trying to make a gap. Looking the live viewers, I feel absolutely wrecked. I'm glad I'm not out there. Not on the circuit yet. I'm just trying to get on him if he is. No, he's not on the circuit yet. Got Lachlan Bourke starting a lap, Dane Liccardo also starting a lap. I feel like these are the two to watch in a minute. I feel like there's 3 guys that can win a race tonight, and it's Lachlan Bourke, Corey Macfarlane, who's obviously already won one, and Dane Liccardo. No one else seems to quite have the outright speed, but as we know, anything can happen.
Yeah, well, that's right. Anything can happen. That's racing. See 39.9 first sector, that's not too bad for Lachlan Bourke there.
It's pretty good. I was going to say Termo, I shouldn't be surprised, but he's adapted rather well.
Yep.
P3 in that race, so he's come to terms with the mod, tyres, everything up to speed very quickly, and he could be one that potentially challenges. And he seemed to get stronger as the race went on, but we will see if that is the case in this one, obviously.
Speaking of modern tyres, I noticed one of the drivers in general chat on Discord said that these tyres suck. Well, unfortunately, mate, I think everyone else around you can get it to work. Maybe it's the driving that matches that word.
Unfortunately, it is what it is. You have to adapt to the equipment that which you're given, and that's racing, to be honest.
Yep. Well, that's what we say about 97% of everyone says that these tyres are fantastic. So.
Well, it doesn't matter if they're fantastic or not. At the end of the day, you've got to adapt what you're given.
Exactly. If someone else is better in front of you, it's can't go blaming the equipment.
That's exactly right. You really have to. Dane Liccardo's gone to P2. You really just got to adapt to what you get thrown. I am racing in championships with the standard tyre and with this one, and I am leading both of those championships. So I'm not here having an ego and big noting myself, but I'm just saying that there's different characteristics to each one, and both of them drive differently, but the same driving still applies to go fast. It's still the same theory. It's just you've got slightly different ways and slightly different things you can sort of change in the car, setup-wise and driving-wise, but overall it's pretty similar driving styles. Dane Liccardo is up.
I completely agree, mate. With me usually right behind you with the headlights on in both the series, so you just got to learn to adapt to whatever's thrown at you and just drive the car.
Like for the viewers, I'll do a bit of talk during this quali session. I feel like these tyres, especially on the initial laps, you're going to get more understeer on turn in, and you're going to get more. It's got better drive, definitely, than the others off the corner. The others are they turn in well, but they're very it's very prone to snap oversteer on the throttle. And when it snaps, it cranks and it makes it very hard to drive. So you've got to be more. You can get away with sliding more, but you can get away with it with the tyre more. But if you do it, you're more likely to go round. Where there's more controllability, but if you do it, the controllability, it hurts the tyre a lot more. So you can't, even though you can get away with it, you've got to make sure that you don't do it. So it's still the same way, it's just a different way of basically shining the same stone, but in a different way.
The best way that I can put it is that the original tyre it just makes the car feel like a very fast road car, whereas this tyre makes it feel like a race car. That it progressively slides, you can catch the slides, because V8 supercars, they don't just randomly snap oversteer in the mid-corner.
No, and I feel like the initial tyre as well, as Dane goes faster again, as I've just seen Turmo's gone to P2.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Just keeping an eye on everybody else. I feel like the standard tyre as well, to be able to get the thing to rotate, you need to it's really pronounced that you stand on the throttle a fair bit on the initial press to get the thing to start rotating in the middle of the corner.
Correct.
And then when you do that, you're more prone to snap it, where in these tyres you can't do that as much because you overexcite the tyre and you heat it up. So it's more of the rotation of the car. I don't know, it's a different way. As I say, understeer is more initially, but it's more, you've got to rotate the car less with the throttle, is how I sort of feel it.
Yep.
And I find you've got to run more front brake bias with these tyres as opposed to the others as well, because you can't rotate it as much on corner entry either. Like with the brake, you've got to do it with your driving. You've got to go slower into the corner and not force the thing to try and go around the corner.
Because that's another flaw with these cars, is that the rear brakes get hotter than the front. So kind of on that original tyre creates a weird feeling of if you go hard on the brake pedal, you can sort of lock the rear and get it turned into the corner that way and then control it with the throttle. Which is, that's a bit unrealistic, because if you did that in a real race car, you'd probably find yourself around in the spot. See Corey on it. Oh, this is a great lap.
Very, very good lap. But yeah, as I say, it all comes down to driving styles. Some people are going to suit one thing more than the other, and that's how it is in racing. And then other people are going to adapt. And I will say, the better drivers always adapt to what's thrown at them better. That's just motor racing.
Yep.
And I suppose some people are used to one thing and it's very hard to change.
Yep.
And Corey, that is an absolutely magnificent lap. He's done a 51.2, so that's a very fast lap time. I do not see that getting knocked off in this session.
No, that can be session done right there.
Yeah, I reckon that is session done, but we will keep an eye because we've still got Turmo. He's in fourth. Lachlan Bourke's in second in this session. He's about to go for another run and actually start a flyer. Corey is still going for another lap, but don't see him improving. Keeping an eye on Ricardo. only a tenth off to the first sector is Macfarlane, and Ricardo's come in. Termo is in the pit lane. Hands is in. Bourke's currently on a lap. Might be a cooldown lap even. No, he's on a cooldown lap. So it's really only a handful of people still on laps. Lewis Wedding is on a lap, I believe. That's representative. See what Lachlan Bourke has. That's exactly right. Well, you have to work with what you have. I'm not defending either way, either tyre or whatever. I'm just giving my opinion as a driver. I race both, and that's Lachlan Bourke off the road massively. I race both, and you've got to adapt to what's thrown at you. I feel like both tyres have overheating problems, which, especially on times 2, which makes them difficult to drive over a race run. But the standard soft tyre also definitely has more grip, which also will naturally hide some of the flaws in your driving if you've got more grip to play with it. I mean, just put black round things on them and I'll drive it. And Lewis Wedding, he's jumped up to 11th with the final lap there. I will say though, I feel like this tyre in this series has brought the racing a lot closer together. The faster guys are a lot closer to the slower guys. And the races, you can't just run away with a race by overdriving a tyre now. You've actually got to look after it over the course of a race. It's less so in this race with us running the ×1 as opposed to ×2 as per normal, but it's still a factor because you overheat these tyres at some of these fast corners and it's over. I reckon Termo can win as well, Walshy. I reckon he showed good pace in the last one. If he can stay with these guys and not get held up, he's in with a good shot. As we saw, Corey is on pole by a margin, but he did not win that last race by very much. He had to sort of look after the tyre a fair bit in those races. Short little warm-up session. Keen to get out here and have a go here tomorrow night. So this is the second of the 3 10-lappers tonight, but tomorrow night we're faced with 12-lap sprint race, which I believe has a pit stop. Am I correct, Colin?
That is correct.
And then a 24-lap race, which will be the longest race that we've had in this series for quite a while, at what I believe is, it's 100 and something Ks, isn't it?
That is a 119 kilometre race.
Yeah,
so rounded off 120.
Yes, 120k race. So that will be the longest race that we've had since Bathurst. So only slightly shorter. So that will be very interesting. And
I'm keen, very keen.
I'm very keen for that race. I feel like that's
keen to go battle with the 47 once again.
I reckon a 2-race format here is going to really spice it up with a longer race. It's sort of a venue that will suit a longer race, and I feel like the tyres go off so much that when you pit is going to be critical. Do you go for an undercut? Do you go for an overcut? Do you just split it through the middle, which I think is probably the best strategy, but I don't know.
You just don't know.
You don't
go
know
anyway.
if there's a
Could be a
safety car. So, kind of
See,
make it
we-
interesting.
Got the same brain, mate. I think that's why, you know, we're pretty good at what we do.
Well, my brain only works half the time.
I can't disagree with that. I feel the same myself. As to my brain.
No, well, I've sat here, I've watched a lot of sim racing, I've done a lot of sim racing. You get a general read picture on what goes on, but it doesn't help you when you're in the heat of the moment, always.
No. Brains tend to get a bit full of hot juice. Or the red mist, they'd say.
Yeah, well, everybody knows what I'm like during a race, so I don't even need to tell everyone.
It's good fun. Well, here we go.
Yeah, here we go. I'm looking... I'm waiting for Corey to grid up here. Looking at the sky on this other screen, that's not what I want to be looking at. So Lachlan... Corey's been put on the front row by himself for some reason. So that's a bit confusing to me as to why that's happened. And Lachlan Bourke's in P2. Not on the same row. So... I'm not sure what's going on there, but that's just sort of... That's AMS, I guess. Same thing's happened
AMS.
on the... Nathan's getting on the grid with Cameron Parrott further back. So,
We're just receiving word that there's oil actually there, so...
I'm assuming that Corey's put it on pole by so much that the game has assumed that he is in front of... Literally got air in between him.
I think the game's thought, oh, okay, that's GT3 Falcon and the rest are GT4 Commodores and Falcons and this and...
Or maybe it's just an ominous sign that Corey should be up here racing main game with us tomorrow night. But anyway...
I honestly think he should be, and if he does watch this back and listen, mate, come and have a real go. And test out your skills in the main supercars. He's definitely got a lot of talent and deserves to have a go.
Definitely does. So I'm going to let you run through the grids. I mean, my voice doesn't work after the last race.
That's fine by me. I'm ready to go.
Alrighty. Well,
So we got Corey in the Bow Repairs Falcon starting off pole position with a blistering lap time. I think it was an 8:10 gap in the end there. Second place in Greater West Concrete Commodore is Lachlan Bourke. Third place in the Mute SimSports Satellite Racing Team Commodore is Dane Licata. Fourth place is Termo. He'll be in a not a brand new chassis, but he'll be in his own chassis next round. Fifth place, Hans Brunswick in the Ultimate number 9 Racing, 99. Sixth place, Steve Bourke, also in the Mute SimSports Satellite Commodore. Jesus, that's a mouthful. Seventh place is Cuz in the Club Latin Flavours Commodore, driving for Warwick Racing Team, my own team. P8, Cameron Parrott in the Privateer Nissan. P9, Steve Warwick in the Blackshaw's, I was about to say Walkinshaw, Jesus, Warwick Racing Commodore. P10, Braff in the Mixed Apex Motorsport Commodore. P11, we've got Brendan Ross, also in the Ultimate 9 Racing Falcon. P12, Lewis Wedding, same again. Another one of those apparently not very good chassis according to Hans Brunswick. 13th place, Nathan Higginson in the Higginson Media Engineering Commodore. 14th, Liam Budd I don't know what's going on with Liam there. He's behind a few cars.
Yeah, not sure.
15th, it's Kai Jones, first of our Super 3 runners, I believe. So that's a Super 3 pole. 16th, a claim bite. 17th, Matt Cecil. 18th is Dodger. 19th is Rhodey. 20th is Jordan DeSantis.
Thank you for that, Colin.
Okay,
we get
let's
ready
roll
for
what we
a start here.
We do. We got the GT3 Falcon from front row by himself. And they're
Start
away.
by Lachlan Bourke. Made up for last time.
Dane Liccardo defending.
Rather aggressively too.
Would I be right in saying in the first race I heard that Bourke went off the road?
It was internet related.
Copy.
Yeah, he was internet related at turn 1. Thought he was going off the road into 1, but he actually no, he did run wide. He did run off the road, but then he got back on the track. So
He's had to go
going
early.
for it. He's had to go early, and he's taken the race lead. So he's going to set up a race here. I'm just looking further back, and there's all kinds of stuff going on. Ultimate 9 cars are in the wars in the background. Just going to flick to this. We've got side-by-side action here with Liam Budd and Brendan Ross. And we've got Ultimate 9 Sandwich. Oh, and Liam Budd's gone around.
Has he now?
Yep, we didn't quite
Oh,
catch
yeah.
that. So we'll just flick to a replay of that very quickly. He lost it by himself.
Oh, easy to do there.
As I've got to flick back to the lead because Corey Macfarlane's gone back to the lead of the race while that's been happening, so we've had to do a quick flick.
This is good racing.
Is this good racing? I feel like these three are going to race hard here. The draft up the main straight definitely sets you up to be able to make a pass pretty easily. And I've got Termo and Steve Warwick side by side in the background as well, and Steve Bourke. They're all going for the draft down the straight. I'll flick back to this as well. We've got this going on. Back to the lead. This don't know where to watch. Don't know where to watch.
We love to see battles everywhere.
Making a move on Cameron Parrott, but that's not going to be successful. Oh, and they're switching under brakes. So they're all in deep here. They're all having a real go.
Tell you what, if I was Dane, I would just try and quietly hang on to the back of them here and save it a little bit of tyre and then push towards the end and see what can come of it, because I have a feeling Bourke and Macfarlane, they might chew up a bit of tyre.
Same, and I feel like that was Dane's biggest mistake in the last one, as he burned up his tyres trying to make the overtake, and he probably should have just waited.
Corey doing a light flash there, that's
It's definitely worth him playing the game here. Being the third car on the line, you can play the game of watching these two battle themselves to tears, which is what's going to continue to happen. Just going to flick to this as well. Lewis Betting to me on the inside of the brat.
That's given a lot of room.
He has. Lewis is getting a hurry along from his teammate. We're going to go back to the lead battle because we've got Lachlan Bourke defending from Corey Macfarlane.
Oh,
And he's let him go. I think Corey may have gone in a bit deep, but has he? No, he hasn't. He's in there
he's pulled it up
perfectly.
well.
And flicking back to this, because we've got Brapp now back up the inside of Wedding. And he's going to hold on to that, but now he's going to be in a battle here with trouble going on. Oh, big
Oh.
sideways moment there. And Lachlan Bourke's
He's
around.
gone.
He's gone. So
Wow.
that's a big moment in this race. I'm going to queue up a replay for everyone of that. He's going to rejoin and still in a reasonable position, but we'll queue up a replay. Oh, I've hit the wrong button. Sorry, people. And yeah, he's lost it there on the grass, and that's cost him a chance of a win, really. So
Sorry for the timing, just making some notes.
yep, all good.
Yeah, this is hurting his championship. DNF and now
Definitely is.
P5.
Yeah, he'll probably get the spots back, but it's definitely he's not going to get back to the win here. But now there's the chance for Dane Liccardo to close up and see if he can get the win. He's been sitting there while these guys are battling.
Oh,
Oh, Steve. Turmo all over him.
calling him Steve. I must say, good job by Dad here. He's up 5 spots.
Yeah, he's had a good start, starting P11.
He mustn't have been listening to me when we went down that chat. Told him to take it easy and look after the tyre and then attack later on.
Well,
Looks
he's
like
definitely not.
done it early.
He's definitely doing it early, but he's in a big battle pack here under a lot of pressure. Keeping an eye on the leaders as well. Not much has happened in that.
Barman.
After the spin, Lachlan's not really moving forward. Looks like he's having a bit of a struggle. He's got a bit of a handful there with those tyres.
Looks like he's moved out of the way. Interesting. Oh,
Oh, you can't go side by side through here. Are they going to? Still side by side. It's allowing
Great
a
job.
huge train.
I'm
I'm impressed. Yeah, but now Turmo's going to try and be a part of this. Still side by
noticing
side.
Dad's locking the front brakes is something that we're trying to work on with his new pedals. He's got the CSL Elite load cell. In my opinion, he's got it set up way too stiff. So when he gets to the middle of the corner, he tends to, if he's travelling a bit too quick, he'll push the brake pedal harder. But then what that's doing is giving him max pressure, and that explains the lockups going into the apex of the corner. So it's something I was trying to feather out of him today, is to try and slowly bring the brake pedal on and be more using the mid-corner speed rather than the brakes. So it'd be interesting to see.
As I say though, watching this battle, Lachlan Bourke is
I think he's cooked his tyres, mate.
I think he has too, and I don't think this track really allows you to pull him down. So.
No.
And now Turmo's
I think
going to have a go at him.
Initially, I think that's why he let Dad go, to try and cool off his tyres, but yeah, you don't want to be doing that too much, because you don't want to lose too many spots.
Half-second gap for the race lead, by the way. Still, not much has changed in that regard, but it's
We're at the halfway point already. That's pretty quick considering these laps are quite long.
yeah. Not back in. I feel like Dane has listened to us a bit in this race, and he sat back and hoping he can challenge towards the end of this race and put a race on for us.
Well, it'd be good to see him earn a proper race win, because, yeah, as we said earlier, is that Lachlan gone again?
It was for a split second. He's having some internet drama.
I hope what we're saying isn't what the drivers are saying, because yeah, that's very off-putting seeing that in the mirror.
It is very off-putting, and there he goes again.
I think that might be his mate.
Could be, and this could be. What is that? No,
Oh, he's back.
again. He's back, but he's missed the timing marker.
This will be it. Same thing happened to my old man and myself actually a couple years back. I think it was first time we came here. The internet went weird like this, and it said I was down a lap, and then all of a sudden I was gone.
Out of the race. So it's another DNF for Lachlan Bourke. This is going to
Wow.
absolutely kill him. This will be his drop round for sure.
I was just about to mention that. Luckily, we do accommodate to these guys and give them a drop round on 2.
But still, it's a bit early in the season to be using that up.
Well, he had the pace here to win, so he'd be kicking himself for sure.
Definitely will be.
Kicking the router, one or the other.
Oh,
I'd be kicking the router.
Bourke's run wide.
Bad looking car though. Mute Sims ports that I like in the cars. Preferably like Danes with the HSV stuff on it.
Yeah, no, they look pretty good with the carbon. I'm not normally a fan of carbon on race cars, but it looks pretty good.
Yep.
They're still holding there. Just over a second off. Feel like if he's
See, Warwick's dropped back to 8. I wonder what happened there.
yeah, not sure.
That sucks. He was up to 5th place.
I'll do a bit of investigative journalism. As you see Cameron Parrott go up the inside.
Oh! I think Bourke saw that coming and said, nah, I'm going to let off the brake pedal, and nearly went off himself.
He had
9/10.
computer drop. He had a computer issue and he's lost the spot.
It's done it again.
Yeah, so he's had a frame issue and it's put him back. So it was no driver-related issue.
Happened to him last round as well. He was moving up through the field and had a frame drop, and it dropped him back a couple of spots. So might have to go and take a look at that myself next time. Parents' place. Might have the graphics up a little high. Yeah. Sim racing. You stole the word straight down my mouth. I was just about to say that.
What?
Front gap is, yeah.
It's nice to spread out a bit. Let's see if there is anything close. Really, the closest two cars are Matt Cecil and Brendan Ross, 16th and 17th. There's not really much to write about that. It looks like both of them are struggling.
Well, it looks like Ross is definitely struggling without a bonnet.
Turmo's struggling in P5 as well, he was just all over the shop.
Oh, big lock up.
I say though, these front two, they've got a huge gap over.
Is that Matt Cecil gone?
I'm not sure, but Dane Liccardo's off the road with pace.
Oh.
So he's misjudged the entry to that right-hander and went off, and Matt Cecil went off into the wall, yeah. So can try and get a replay of that, what's happened.
So he's probably caught the grass on the exit.
That's
Yep.
what's happened, and he's gone straight around. So disappointing there for Matt.
Fortunately, tyres don't work on grass, so good job by Cuz as well, lots of people.
Yep, been alright from him. You see Brendan Ross is now having a look at a clean bite. He's thrown it down there. He's made the spot bar.
Yeah, claim by it once again, consistent. Super 3.
Yeah, another podium for him in Super 3 it will be in this one. Bit of a smaller Super 3 field tonight, as we said.
Got 2 to go.
And we do. Oh, and if Brendan Ross is around.
Is that a replay of Matt's Hessel?
It's very
Literally
similar.
the exact same.
It's pretty much. He's nearly done the exact same thing, and he's going to meet his friend Matt Cecil as well, back to almost the same position that they were in, because there's Matt coming onto the main straight, so
Hello, friend.
they've had the same incident for the same result. Very spread out now in this one.
Yeah, this one's fizzled out now. I think you can lock all those positions in. Matt goes straight
Oh,
ahead.
and I've seen Kai Jones, our Super 3 leader, is off the road with pace, and he's recovered it, but he's going to lose a lot of ground here to Rhodey, and this, we may have just put a curse on. His tyres would be struggling now. It looks like Kai Jones' tyres are struggling once again towards the back end of the race, like they did in the last one.
Yeah, that's a strange one. So, yeah, 14-second gap by the looks of it over Claim Bite. So he might have gap in margin.
As well. Sorry, we've got Liam Bard on Brap, so there's still some positions. Oh, and who's that in front?
Oh,
That's Higginson.
Higo.
He's had a moment. So, maybe the length of the race, in fact they've already done one, starting to catch up with a few people.
This is the last lap.
It is the last lap. I've seen Rhodey drop back a little bit as well, it seems. This is on now. Brap's caught the back of Higo, and Higo looks like he's struggling. Liam Budd looks like he wants both of them. We will go to a race leader, but catch this for 10th for the time being. Oh, and Brap defending into that corner. But we've got to switch over because Corey Macfarlane is going to come through and he's going to win 2 from 2 here and staple his name to the top of the championship, I believe.
That's a big statement.
It is a big statement, and Dane Liccardo with another impressive P2.
Both of those drivers,
Brunswick.
52-2.
Wow, Hans and Latino, that really tightened up towards the end there. The 3rd and 4th, that's been a good drive from Cuz. Termo's going to bring it home in P5. Steve Bourke 6, Cameron Parrott 7, Steve Warwick 8, still sweating 9th, and this is still on here. But Sahiko's going to bring it home.
Yeah, he's got it. P10. Well done, up 5 spots.
That will be 11th. Liam Bird 12th. Kai Jones is going to bring home another win for Super 3 for tonight. So he's had a bit of form here.
Yes, still struggling. His tyres. Brody's caught up.
Yeah, he has, and Rody's going to get P2. Claim by with another podium. And
Must have fell away there, claim by. Thought he was in front of Brody. Must have missed that.
yeah, something happened now, I think.
Dodger,
Dodger.
most improved.
Definitely, up 4 spots in that one. Had a quiet race. Brendan Ross had a bit of a shocker, it must be said. Matt Cecil is he's still having a shocker, unfortunately, for him. Matt brings it home in 18th, and Lachlan Bourke and Jordan DeSantos were your DNFs. So,
Well, hopefully for Lockie's sake, yeah, get a good run in the last race.
I
hope so Corey.
Corey's celebrating quite aggressively. Someone's had an altercation now on the cool down there.
Yeah, watch out, mate.
Yeah, I feel like we were robbed of a bit of a good race there. I thought that was on, but yeah,
Oh,
bit of a
it's
fizzer.
definitely on.
It was on, but it was a bit of a fizzer. But that's racing. Everything has them. Could be worse. It could have been Hamburg.
Yeah,
So
that's won't speak of that.
instead we had a Mac, a Lick, and a Brun. So that is our top 3 in that one. So we've got one more race tonight and another qualifying session. I seriously hope we have a bit of a better one than that. It was an action track last time we were here in Super 2. A lot of people running all over the shop, and tonight it's been a very quiet event, it must be said. There's not much for the stewards to look at, which I'm not complaining about, but, you know, I like to watch action.
We do like to watch action.
I don't like
We
to
do like
review
to watch
it.
a bit of motor racing. Well, here we go for the last qualifying session at the Bend.
Yep, and hopefully this
For
season
Super
we
2 and
won't.
3.
Hopefully this season we won't be back here again, unlike last time. I'm a bit sick of the sight of this place, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, no further comment. Bring back the 500, I say. Adelaide 500.
I agree.
Oh, green light, here we go. Well, Lachlan Bourke is out there. Tell you what, once you fizzle out the pit lane, you already lose about 20 seconds. So
Yeah,
interesting to note.
it is a long pit exit.
A bit of a lag there as someone rejoins the game. Just going to try and get the live timing up for this one.
If you can have the timing, mate, that would be excellent and make my life easier.
Well, for some reason, it doesn't like to work sometimes.
Yeah,
And it's doing the same thing again.
it's a
So
bit temperamental at times, this old...
I find it's
Lachlan.
just on this new internet for some reason when, yeah.
I struggle with it here at home as well. Yeah, doesn't always want to work.
Mate, I'll try and get it up on the phone. Oh, hang on. Is she working? She's half working.
Well, we've got Nathan Higginson and Lachlan Bourke. They're about to start a lap. Lachlan's going to back up a little bit.
No, lost it. Oh, hang on. Might be good here.
Those with Lachlan, Bud and Jordan DeSantis in between races. Yes. I could be wrong on that. That's what appears has happened. Rough idea of where everyone's at. Corey's just come out of the lane, so he's now on his first out lap.
Sorry, mate. I've been trying to get this live timing to work and it just doesn't want to, so just have to go with what we see on the screen. I believe Lachlan Bourke is on a decent lap. 16.1 to the mid's not bad.
Seems to be.
Low 52. Yeah,
52.3. Now I'm watching Dane Liccardo, see what he does. He crosses the line. He goes, oh, very close. Very close. I was watching the sectors on those laps and I knew that it was going to be between the both of them. And Brunswick goes to third. He's going to watch Harrison Latino's now crossing the line. What's he do? He goes to fifth with 53.4.
Steve Warwick up to third.
That's a good lap there from Steve. He's going to find Corey. Corey's on an out lap still. Lachlan pretty close to his...
It is very close.
Sector.
2000s.
Corey's pretty much only going to leave himself one lap here to have a big dip at this.
2000s. These, you know what?
Certainly is. We'll see what happens in this sector. I don't have Dane Liccardo's times to be able to see what he's doing.
Good job from the old man. He's finally cracked the 52.
Yeah, 52 is no... It's no mean feat around here.
No.
Corey's now started his first flying lap. So we'll get the first sector when I see what that is from him.
Oh.
He is up to the tiniest amount, is Corey. Just going to flick
Bourke
to
doesn't
him.
go any quicker.
Dane, we've got Dane crossing the line.
Does he go quicker?
He does
Yes.
go quicker. Dane Liccardo goes to pole position, so see Steve Warwick, he's crossing the line. He's going into the lane. Hans Brunswick's about to cross the line. I'll flick to him.
It's not representative.
Not
207.
representative. Irishman Latino crosses the line. He goes faster. He does a 52.9, so he gets to P4. Bourke. 52.8 from Bourke. He goes to P4 now. So the timing board's starting to light up. Corey is not faster than Mikado at the minute. He's going to need a good last sector.
He did a 51.2 in the last session.
Very close in this mid-pack tonight, I must say. I'm impressed by that. It's really gone into the race. Turmo now with a good first sector. So
That's a great.
it's a great first sector. I'm just going to flick though. Corey's going to cross the line. See if this is good enough for... And it is. It's pole. It's a good lap. I flicked the Turmo, but I've just seen Dane Liccardo die.
That's not good.
Yeah, he went straight ahead into a wall. So he's clearly not alright.
Today.
Yeah. Next in...
Severe condolences.
Moving along.
Oh, I've done it again.
Lachlan Bourke on a lap. And he's gone to pole position.
Oh.
Good lap there. That's his best lap of the night. Turmo's lap's
Great lap.
gone to tears that we've been watching. A bit like me. It's finding it hard to compose itself. But he does still improve to P4. Did drop away there though in the last two sectors. Corey's now on a lap again.
Approaching sector 2.
And he's up by a long way. It's a mega lap.
This must be the Shell V-Power bloody Ford Falcon that had the 25 kilo exhaust plate.
It's very quick at these fast flowing tracks, it appears. And across the line, we'll see what he wheels out here. And that is a fella of a lap time. That's pole position, I feel.
Give him the check. Give him the check now.
Yeah, I don't see anyone else really challenging it, although Dane Liccardo's gone out. He's going to start another lap very shortly. Lachlan Bourke's rolled out of it. He's decided he's done. Turmo looks like he's on a cool-down lap. Bourke's going to have one more run at this. Hans is on a lap, and it's going to be faster, but not much needs to be gained in that mid-sector, but he's only... It's P7 and he's only 2/10 off P4.
It's close between 4th and 5th as well. Might have hurt him a little. He'll cross the line and get another go, I think. Just.
He's going to cross the line and get another go. So, and he does improve, but not enough. And actually enough to displace Steve Bourke. Dane Liccardo's on a lap, and it's up slightly. Just going to have a look out for anyone else. Corey is still on a lap, but it's not representative. Turmo's not on a lap. Bourke's on a lap, and it could have displaced Hans. I feel like Dane Liccardo, if he starts on the second row here, we can challenge for this win. I believe in you, Dane.
Even though he's dead.
Well, that's a slight issue that I'm sure he can resolve. This is only a game, so he can hit reset and then get angry about it later. And we've got Lewis Kugley in the broadcast chat saying tough. Tough to you too.
Tough to you too, Lewis.
Hi Cougs. How you
Hope
going?
you're doing well, mate.
Dane Liccardo crosses the line, and what does he give us?
Gives us a
Gives us
51.8.
51.8, and he's nearly snatched P2, but it's just not enough. Steve Bourke now.
What does he do?
And Prezi goes to P4. He displaces Termo, Steve, and Hans. That's a good lap from him there in the dying stages.
Anyone else?
No one else seems to be on a lap, so that seems to be the end of our session, but
Feel like I'm searching for survivors of Titanic. Is there anyone else?
Nathan Higginson's having an expression session.
Well, he looks like the Titanic at the moment.
Yeah, he's thinking a bit like one.
Good session.
Was a good session, mate. Another good session of motor racing.
Another good session of simulator motor racing vehicles.
Yeah. Hopefully we have a good race.
Hopefully. I think it'll be a little bit different this one. Usually the last race of the night is a bit of a mixed bag. See some guys maybe get a bit desperate and
Yeah, well, I'm just interested to see what does happen in this one.
quick 2-minute warm-up session for everyone to get acclimatized to their vehicles. And then straight into another 10-lap race. Doesn't seem very long, but around here it's
It's
quite
not
the
short
length.
either. See Brap there doing a pracky start.
Yep.
I think we might take the opportunity to take a short break and come back with the race start in a minute.
We
So-
can do that.
We'll catch us for the race start.
Yeah, all good.
Back live here at the Ben Motorsport Park for the third instalment of Super 3 this year, or Super 2 and 3 this year from this venue. So I'll take you through the grid. It's Corey Macfarlane on pole once again from Lachlan Bourke. Hopefully he can actually redeem himself in this one and get some sort of a result. Dane Liccardo in third. Steve Bourke makes it an all-mute SimSport satellite row 2 on the grid. Termo in 5th place. Steve Warwick in 6th. Hans Brunswick in 7th place. RSM Latino in 8th. Brapp in 9th. Lewis Wedding in 10th. Cameron Parrott in 11th. Brendan Ross in 12th. Nathan Higginson in 13th. Matt Cecil in 14th place. Rody in 15th. Claimbite 16th. This is their Super 3 drivers back here. Kai Jones in 17th. Stenny's 18th, but he's not there. And Dodger in 19th. So
well, here we go. Final race of tonight.
who's your pick, mate? What do you think?
I don't think much, but what I think for this race is that if Lachlan can stay out of router troubles, he could probably fight for it and then bring Liccardo with him, but if not, I think Corey will have the measure again. So
same, mate. I feel like Lachlan's going to be hungry to bounce back.
well, here we go, lining up. Last minute temperatures in the brakes, tyres.
Feel like Bourke's been good off the start in this one. I don't know why the grids have done this. It's very strange.
It is strange. We'll run with it.
And we've got people trying to line up at the back.
Well, here we go. Lights are coming on.
Awesome start here by Bourke, and he's going to get the run into one, even from the grid spot behind, so that ain't going to stop him. Biffing and barging there in the background. We've got 4 wide-odd into turn 1. Well, there's been a bit of contact. They've all made it through reasonably cleanly. Lachlan Bourke is going to take the race lead. Oh, and Brunswick's around. The other camera, but we've still got the race on here for the lead, so I can't really look at that.
Tell you what, the racing IQ of Lachlan Bourke from this time last year to now, massively different.
Agreed, mate. He has come on leaps and bounds, not just in pace, but in race smarts.
To come off that corner, that fast corner, and then to think, yep, lock down the inside so he can't get by. That's a good racer's brain there.
He's a good racer's brain. As we've got Brendan Ross off in those fast sector. He's going to rejoin right with a bunch of Ultimate 9 cards.
Oh my goodness.
There's Ultimate 9 everywhere back there. So back to the front. Keep an eye on. It's not been a good night for Ultimate 9 racing, it must be said. And Kai Jones is DNF by the looks.
It's a bit of 9 on 9 back there.
then he DNF'd as well with a technical, or did DNS with a technical issue. It's on here. I will say that's one thing, looking at our leading pack of guys, I don't know much about Corey Macfarlane. I know he's raced Scops and whatnot and what have you, but having watched these other guys, Lachlan Bourke's one that's picked up his racing brain a lot in this series since we first saw him, where a guy like Dane Liccardo is still, although he's learned a bit, he's still got a bit to learn, and that's Corey Macfarlane off, and that's going to put him back to third, and I feel like this is going to make the race quite challenging for him from back here.
Here we go.
So here we go. We've got a race on our hands tonight.
That's what we like to see.
Well, spin the die 3 times. You're not going to get the same result 3 times. And like that little move there from Lachlan to get the start, that's set up the race, and it's put the pressure on Corey now to respond. And when you're not out front and you don't have the lead, it's a different race. Myself, I can say that I feel like the way you approach a race when you have the lead as opposed to not off the start is so much different.
Yeah, exactly.
And now we've got Corey in a battle with Dane, and this is just going to give Lachlan Bourke a bigger lead.
He's just got to drive smart now, which we've already commented on. He has been.
This is Cameron Parrott on the inside of Steve. Pratt trying to be a part of this as well. It's on here though for P2. Dane defending. So these two now going to slow each other up and basically gift Lachlan the win at this rate. I was seeing Cameron Parrott go off with a fair bit of pace into turn 1, so he's had some kind of drama. Looks like he's going to be out of the race. Is he trying to rejoin? Looking for a safe spot to rejoin, he is. Good racing here. And Corey's going up the inside of Dane here. Oh, I feel like he got turned in on a bit then. And oh, he's into the back of him. He's not happy with it. These two are not happy with one another. And he's going to try and come back at him here. I bet, what's Corey going to do? How's he going to respond to this? He's going to move over in a straight line. Dane's on the lights. He's not happy. He's down the inside. He's going to get the move done. Corey's going to come back with the crisscross. This is going to bring Turmo into this. Oh, and Corey's into the door of him again. I feel like this is going to get heated very quickly. Dane with the headlight flash again. Corey with the headlight flash. Corey with the headlights on. Turmo now up the inside of Corey. Turmo getting the elbows out. Turmo's just said, well, mate, you're going to play those games? Goodbye. I'm up onto the podium spots. And that's put Corey Macfarlane. He's now down into P5. So that was all a bit ugly. And now Corey's going to try and get back past Steve. And meanwhile, Lachlan Bourke's having a holiday up the front. And he's got the move done on Bourke. Now Bourke, both of them aren't happy with one another. So, both got the headlights on. These are heated competitors out here. They're all a bit fired up. Brandon Ross is retired from the race. Switching to this, we got Brapp and Lewis Betting having a battle here. And he's gone for the over-under, has Lewis. And he's going to keep the position. Switching to this part, we've got Corey Macfarlane. He's having a dive on Termo. This has been Corey getting moved back here by Termo has been great for. Oh, that's an aggressive move. Oh, I thought that was going to end in tears. Just going to switch to this. We've got so much going on. We've got this now side by side. Brapp's now going to go off the road in this Ultimate 9 battle. Now we've got Corey's going to jam it up the inside of Termo. How much room's he going to show? Oh, he's over-undered him now. He's going to get back up there, and he's been aggressive with it. And that's going to bring Bourke back into this now. Good racing. Now he's going defensive. Not over yet, that. I feel like Termo is going to have a run onto the straight here and come back at him. That's exactly what he does. He's got the good drive. Corey's going to move him over up the straight. But Termo's there. He's got the overlap. Termo gets the move done, but Corey's awake to it. He's done the over-under. He's done it all night down there. And now Bourke wants to be a part of it. Oh, and that's a big moment there from Termo, and he's very in there, very deep and late on the brakes. That's started to fizzle out a bit now, that sort of pack. Lewis Betting's run off the road while we're looking at that, so he's had a moment and he's dropped now back behind Brapp. Lachlan Bourke currently in the lead. It's a 2.4 second gap, but as you can see, stayed pretty steady since Dane cleared Corey, but still yet to see what's going to play out. We're 7 laps into this one. I am curious to see how this plays out for the rest of these competitors. It's spread out at the minute, but I don't feel like this is all she wrote in the story of this race. Corey's now catching onto the back of Dane again, and I feel like Lachlan Bourke may have this one locked away. Although, you can't write anyone off. Oh, and that's a mistake there from Dane. He's going to put Corey straight onto him. Corey, oh. I've seen Higginson's had a lose at the last corner, so he's lost his spot in the top 10. Sorry to drag you away from this, but we've got Lewis Wedding and Brack here having a battle. Wedding has got the ultimate 9, number 9. Falcon back up into position number 9. Going back to this part because we've got Corey's getting fired up here. He wants to make this pass on Dane, and I can tell you Dane is not going to move over for him. Oh, what a move! Oh, I thought that was going to be move of the night. That was a very ambitious go, but he's unsettled him. These guys are costing themselves lots of time. Corey up the inside. Dane's, he's... I don't know who's done what to who there, but they're not giving each other lots of room, that's for sure. Dane now blocking. He's down, overshot the corner. He's going to get crisscrossed up the inside. Corey Macfarlane, he's run him wide. He's had enough of him, and he's taken the spot. But now Dane's going to be on the back of him, and I expect Dane to come back at the next corner. There's no way he's not. He's going to send it. Oh, he's had him off! He's had him off. Dane Liccardo has put Corey Macfarlane into the fence. Clean bowled. Nothing more you can write about that one. So we're going to get a replay of that here. I'm going to see if I can get a better camera. So this is straight on. And whether he's misjudged the braking or what have you, but straight into the back of him, straight off. Corey Macfarlane. That is going to be catastrophic for his race. After having such a great night, and he's back now into P6, so it's the first time that the stewards are going to really have to investigate something from tonight, because yeah, that was not really on, it must be said. But moving along, Lachlan Bourke definitely got a great race lead, and we've noticed that Lewis Wedding has lost the spot to Bratt once again. So the fight between the number 9 and the number 0 car for P9 has gone on most of the race. Still a chance for Corey to hang on to a top 5 here. If he can get past Latino on the recovery. But wowee. It's just, I don't know what that last bit of what I saw was, but to me I feel like that's a bit unnecessary. Macfarlane now. right on the back of Norris and Latino. This is going to be the last lap now that they're coming around to start. Regulation overtake in the end, so to get back to P5 after that incident. So we've also got a battle though going back further on, so we'll just get you some pictures of that. We've got Brap here with Higginson. So this is over P10 once again and 9, so Brap's lost this spot again. Brap into Higginson. So Brap must have had an incident at some point. Resolved now. What's happened to Lachlan here? Lachlan's lost a lot of time. What's happened to him here? It looks like he's got some kind of issue. He's had some kind of issue. Not sure what. But they've all slowed down to take the finish, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but interesting. A lot to digest, but it hasn't changed the result. I'm not a bit confused there, as I'm while watching. And we've just seen Hans Brunswick die live on camera footage. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a horrible announcement to make, and this is that Hans Brunswick has passed away at the conclusion of this race. That's pretty unfortunate. So, in P8 for Ultimate 9. So we've had Rhodey bring home a win in Super 3. We've had a Claimbite finish second in that, and Dodger round out the podium. But yeah, interesting race. Now I don't have my commentator with me, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these post-race interviews. But I am going to drag some people in for a bit of a chat. See who is appearing in the channel for a chat. Still waiting for the channel to be populated with people. So I'm going to drag Lachlan Bourke in, winner of the last race. Lachlan, mate, not a great night for you, but you've bounced back there with a win in the final one. How did you find it out there?
I knew I had race pace, but just the internet decided it didn't want me to finish the first 2 races, unfortunately. So
Yeah, we saw that, mate. We saw that. We reckon that you had the pace to challenge for a win in all those races. But, yeah, a bit unfortunate with your internet there. Please, though, fill us in. What happened at the end of that final one? A bit confused as to what's gone on there.
we tried to do a formation finish, but I have a funny feeling we kind of messed that one up.
Oh, okay. So that's what was going on. I was a bit confused as to what was going on there.
Yeah.
I saw a bunch of cars slowing down, and I'm going, what's going on here? So, no, but nonetheless, mate, good drive in the final one. But I'm sorry about the commiserations to the rest of your night. But I'm sure you'll bounce back at Winton.
Yeah, that's racing.
That's it. That's racing, mate. Anyway, I'll let you go, and I'll talk to you next time.
Thank you. Have a good one.
I'll bring up Corey Macfarlane. Corey, mate, 2 wins tonight. A bit of a disappointing last one with the way in which that finished. But how was your night? You seem to have mega qualifying pace. So tell us how you found it.
Yep, qualifying pace was really good. Definitely got a... didn't really put much practice in because just the track was awful. Couldn't be bothered. Bit frustrating. Yeah, and then got a bit of a setup going. Qualifying pace was really good, and then to have 2 race wins and then that happened in the last, it's pretty frustrating, but it happens.
Would be pretty frustrating, mate. Yeah, as I say, mega qualifying pace. And considering you didn't do many laps, it is a bit of a frustrating track, but it's also one that requires a few laps at to be fast at normally, because it's a hard one to get used to. But yeah, that last one, you look like you were bashed from pillar to post from a number of drivers all over the shop.
Yeah, it's get what you give, so, it was bumping and that, but it was, I'd call it fair at a point. And then, someone just takes it a bit too far out of frustration, so...
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, mate. It was fair until a point, and then it was overstepped. So stewards will be looking into that, but good job on being able to recover somewhat that last race, and we look forward to seeing how you go in the next one, mate. I believe you're now the championship leader. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure you're now the championship leader after tonight.
Cool. Thank you.
No worries. Well, there's a few people to talk to. I'm going to talk to Dane Liccardo. P2 3 times tonight, mate.
Yep.
Good driving in the first 2. Last one caught up in a bit of a drama. How'd you find it out there?
I enjoyed it. It's nice to have some pure pace for once. Been able to keep up with the front guys. But yeah, it was fun.
Definitely will agree, mate. We kind of expected that you might be able to get a win tonight. Like, in every race, you look like you were a contender, and I felt like the first one, you kind of may have given it away with some of your moves. Like, you seemed to be able to lose a bit of time at turn 1, making a move, spend the rest of the lap catching him back, and then sort of throw it away again. So
ambitious, I guess you could call it. I learnt in the second 2 races. And what really killed it for me in the first race is I underfueled the car by about half a lap, so I had to back off. Oh,
that's why you fell off. I thought your tyres might have gone from your driving earlier on, but no, that's a bit unfortunate, because I feel like you may have been able to stay with him then and actually put on a bit of a challenge. So disappointing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's racing.
But yeah, definitely you and Lachlan and Corey were the 3 contenders tonight as far as pace goes in for the win. But can't be unhappy with P2.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with 3 P2s. It's good points for the Mute Sim Sport team.
And the race and the round win, I'd imagine. Don't have the figures here, but I'd probably put that down to that.
Yeah, well, that'd be a first.
Yeah, it certainly would be, but yeah. Oh, well.
Definitely a swing of luck from last year.
Yeah, definitely a swing of luck from last year at this venue. It wasn't really a
Yeah.
great one for you. So, but congrats on that tonight, and we will see you back at Winton. Best of luck there.
Thank you very much.
Well, I'm going to wrap this up because this has been hard doing a solo gig when you've come home from work and you're smashed from work, and everything's gone on. So I've tried my best to wrangle this ship and keep it afloat. It's been a bit like the Titanic, and it's hit by an iceberg and sinking, but I think we've gone all right from what we've had. So I'd like to thank everybody who's tuned along with us, and thank our drivers for turning up and putting on a show once again at what can be, as Corey said, a bit of a annoying track. Not really a driver's favourite, that's for sure. But we will see you We'll see you tomorrow night. Main game here for 12 lapper and 24 lapper, as mentioned earlier. But us in Super 2, well, myself, we'll see you at Winton on the 31st of May for the Winton Super Sprint, and our first visit to Winton in over 2 years. So that'll be exciting to see, and best of luck to everyone there. I've been Kurt Stenberg, and I've had Colin Warwick join me for part of the night, but catch you later.